I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
This is Garbage Horror Out of the Can Haunt Review 2015. This is one of the big ones, I have a feeling.
It is.
This is The Darkness in St. Louis, Missouri. I don't know why I did it that way.
You're so cheesy.
Yes, I am. Thank you. I am so cheesy, Velveeta sued me for trademark infringement.
But they might now.
All right. Anyways, The Darkness in St. Louis, Missouri. This haunt has a reputation that precedes it. It is on nearly all of the top haunt lists that I can think of, like Haunt World and so forth.
Right.
See it everywhere you go. It is one of the must-see haunts. It is up there with the 13th Gate, the House of Shock, the top-tier haunts in the country.
Right.
And we've been meaning to go for a long time.
Yeah.
Have not been able to. In fact, we were kind of saddened when we were not able to go to Trans World this year to see The Darkness.
I
know. Stars did not align on that one for a lot of reasons.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. But, that being said, we were able to go this trip.
Yes. And it was actually the first one. Like we said, we're posting some of these out of order.
Yes. It was the first one we went to on this trip. And I've got to say, it was a very interesting haunt experience in many respects.
It was.
It was not necessarily what I expected, but it's kind of difficult to describe. No, we'll start right off the bat. We went ahead and paid for the combo ticket with The Abyss at Lent Brewery. We'll be doing that review separately. And we're separating them for the record because they are two separate attractions at separate locations. In fact, as we discovered, it's very difficult to hit them both in the same day.
Yeah, we barely made it.
We barely made it, and we had all the stars in our favor.
Right.
You know, short lines, got there early, everything was in our favor. We still barely made it.
Yeah.
So definitely it's two separate attractions in our book for our scheduling.
And you got to plan for that.
Got to plan for that.
If you're going to hit both of them in one night.
But still, we bought a $40 combo ticket with that one. We went out and we did The Darkness first. So it was $40 for the two, The Darkness, and we got there. And luckily we didn't have a long line, but we did have a lot of line actors.
Yeah. 3, and then some random in and
out from the haunt itself.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, these guys were amazing. Most haunts put their best actors front of house.
Yeah. Darkness
definitely did that. These guys shine.
If you saw our preview, you saw 2 of them in there.
Yeah, check out our Facebook preview of it. 2 of them make a special, only somewhat planned appearance.
Yes.
We had no control over them, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We did not actually get any help from them in shooting that. They helped in their own special way.
Yes, they were fun.
They were fun. And that's just it. They were great. It was really awesome to watch these guys work. And they did the very smart thing of, they realized they weren't going to scare our group. We're a hardcore haunt group, other than Sean. We're a hardcore haunt group. So they just had fun with us.
Right.
They just played with us in other ways. Mm-hmm. And it was great. It was a lot of fun. And we got to watch them scare the other chickens, as they like calling them, that were coming into the line. They have a whole thing about chickens through the entirety of this haunt.
Yeah.
The front of the house, honestly, was in many ways my favorite part.
Yeah, it set the mood for such a fun night and such a fun
haunt. And so, everyone up front of house, kudos to you guys. I'm not gonna. We know one of their names. We're not gonna say it out of respect.
Right.
So just throwing that out. But yeah, we really had a great time with them.
Yeah.
The haunt itself, though, I've got to say, I feel I don't want to say disappointment's the right word, but maybe like I didn't necessarily get what I expected or what I in my head had envisioned.
Well, first off, I want to say the scenes were beautiful.
Oh, God, yes. The set design is gorgeous throughout this entire haunt.
Yes, at least in the first half. There's that second 3D thing.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll come to that.
The first part is just beautiful to look at.
Yeah, the entire, what I think is functioning the downstairs area is very, very beautifully designed.
Yeah.
It's quite immaculate. It's wonderful to look at. They have great set design, great attention to detail. And it's probably some of the finest just scene design I've seen in haunted houses.
Yeah.
Period.
It makes you feel like you're pretty cramped.
Yeah, it is very claustrophobia inducing at all times.
Right.
Which is one thing I wish they had done more to play with cramped spaces and open-ish spaces.
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because it always felt cramped initially, but at least that I recall. But still, immaculate set design, immaculate scene design. But I think my main issue is it felt like they discovered something that they did well, so they kept doing it over and over and over again. That main thing was animatronics.
Yeah, there were a lot of animatronics. There were scarce on actors.
Yeah, more scarce than I
inside.
expected.
Yeah, especially for so many outside.
Yeah.
You would expect more inside.
Yeah, and the first like half a dozen or so rooms, it seemed to me, were centered around animatronic scares.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, you go to haunts like 13th Gate and so forth, they have animatronics, but they're sort of sprinkled throughout, kind of here or there.
Right.
This one, it's like animatronic in this room, animatronic in that room. Here's a spider, here's a scorpion, here's a whatever the hell kind of beetle that is. We sat there and argued over what kind of beetle one of them was for a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, they kept hitting with animatronics, and the basic idea is there's a dragon, and and the rooms were brighter than I anticipated they would be.
Yeah, and I think that's because of the use of fog machine.
Yeah,
because I think that really scattered it.
Yeah, I think you're right. It felt very foggy in places.
It was very foggy throughout, enough that I needed a drink afterwards.
Yeah, and it really did diffuse the light, as she said, and make it feel brighter than it might have actually been.
So if you're expecting darkness, it's not.
In the darkness, no. At least it was not on our walkthrough.
Right.
Now, that being said, the animatronics were great.
Yes.
Very beautiful, very well articulated, very well built, because unlike most haunted houses, they all worked.
Yes.
They had a lot of these animatronics, and every single one of them functioned. That's pretty impressive, actually. It's more impressive than many probably realize. But still, it felt like it was animatronic, and then it was LCD panels.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And if you've been to a lot of haunts, you've seen these.
Yeah, it's an LCD panel, and they're playing a movie where something's trying to get out.
Or it's a picture that's suddenly shifting.
Yeah.
The panels each have different things. And they're cool.
They are cool. But here's my problem. I want to stop and watch them.
Yeah.
They don't scare me. I don't see how they can be scary unless they are used as a distraction tool.
Yeah.
Because I want to sit there and I want to watch the animation because it's cool and I want to look at it and I'm used to looking at TVs. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of the thing.
And it is an opportunity to swoop in behind or attack someone.
Right.
And they don't do that here very
much.
I don't recall them doing it at all, actually.
No.
And really, the flow of the haunt, and once again, going back to those tight rooms with the narrow walkway, doesn't really give you an opportunity to stand and watch these. So yeah, you can't do like you do at bowling alleys where you watch the strike animation on the screen with these. You don't get that opportunity. And so it feels like you're just kind of walking by as these are happening. And they didn't feel particularly well timed. For me as the front of the group, I don't know how it was to you further back.
The animations were not well timed.
For you either? Okay.
No.
And it's interesting, at the Waterloo Sportsman Club, they did have one of these. Exactly one.
Yeah.
And it was very well timed, actually. But still, this felt like there were a lot of them. And once again, they're cool, they're great. And so they just added a lot of them in. Mm-hmm. But, and to me, I could have dealt with there being a few more actors.
Yeah.
And yeah, just more attacks based upon these obvious distractions they've set up.
Right.
It's like they've got the distract part, where's the startle part?
Right.
And like I said, the great scenery, great set design, great everything, and they're great. Physically, the haunt is wonderful.
Yes.
It just felt like it was lacking some of the human touch. I don't know if it was the night we were there. I don't know if it's a broader issue.
Yeah.
But on our walk through it felt kind of quiet on the inside.
Yeah. Yeah. Was there a background music playing?
I think there was. I think there was. I don't honestly recall.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's obvious to me why they make and sell those DVDs about how to decorate your haunt.
Yeah.
I should have bought some, honestly.
Well, I'm pretty sure we can probably get them.
We'll probably get them online later. We should have bought some there, nonetheless, because it is cool.
Yeah.
And that they do offer those as you exit. They have a very cool gift shop there. Mm-hmm. And all in all, I really enjoyed it. It was, very atmospheric. It was very, 13th Gate light with the attention to detail.
Right.
But where 13th Gate has actors seemingly everywhere, even if the actors aren't necessarily scare actors, this one seemed to lack a lot of the human touch.
Yeah.
I think that's basically how I view it.
Yeah.
So, any final thoughts?
We didn't even touch
the
3D part.
Oh, no, jeez. Oh, man.
Because that's
This is
our
why
problem.
I ask her that, because she's the one that remembers these things usually.
This is the break in the haunt for me, is because it really feels like two attractions.
Yeah.
Because you exit the first part, and then you get handed 3D glasses, and there's a 3D painted section, like we talked about over at the House of Shock review. And there are clowns. Of course, there are clowns, because that really lends
Carnival
itself
theme
to the 3D effect kind of thing.
Yeah, and I've already said my piece about how nonplussed I am about clowns, one way or the other. I grew up with Bozo. Grand prize game is where it's at.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Some kids are gonna have to Google that one now, I'm afraid.
Yeah. For whatever reason, the 3D effect in this didn't seem to work as well for me. As at House of Shock, I don't know if it's because the paint's there, because they have been doing this a lot longer.
Yeah, and that's, yeah, because here's the thing, we were talking about this on the drive back.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the House of Shock got their inspiration from this. They've been doing this for years, and that's not a knock on
something similar.
That's not a knock on anyone.
No.
Inspiration is awesome. Use inspiration wherever you may get it.
Yes.
I do it. Everyone does it. Please use it.
Don't completely rip off. Yeah. But
inspired. And I don't think they did rip it off.
Yeah.
I think they were inspired by it. I think it was legitimate inspiration.
Yes.
Totally cool. Not a knock. But I think House of Shock did it better.
Yeah. Well,
like you said.
The colors popped more.
And the 3D effect.
There were a lot of... okay, so there's these models kit called Weirdos.
Yeah.
That came out a long time ago. And there were a lot of statues that looked a lot like that kind of artwork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To me.
And it's like you said, the 3D effect didn't pop as much, though, at
right.
the darkness. And I don't know like you if it was the age of the paint or whatever. There was only 1 or 2 rooms I really noticed that 3D effect.
Right.
One room that had you walking on like these planks. Mm-hmm. And I remember actually looking at the planks, and they looked 3D coming out of the ground. And there was a bowling room where it really stood out.
Yeah.
But other than that, the 3D effect was...
Well, and on the clown that was painted.
Yes. Okay, I agree with that.
There was one.
There was one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had a vertigo tunnel at one point in it, and the vertigo tunnel didn't hit me. I mean, I used to be completely immune to vertigo tunnels growing up.
Yeah.
Because I used to be legally blind in one eye. Then I got LASIK. Now vertigo tunnels work a lot better. Work a lot better.
That's pretty funny.
I used to be almost completely immune. I used to stand around in vertigo tunnels and mess with other people. I was a jerk.
Yes, you still are, but that's okay.
And the point remains, the House of Shock had a vertigo tunnel too, and the sequence it also impacted me more.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think maybe it's the age of it or something, age of the paint, but for some reason it just didn't seem to stick. And also, you had to return the 3D glasses at the darkness. Where the House of Shock, you got to keep yours. In fact, they're sitting in the cubby of the car, by the way. I found them. Yeah. So
that's it.
I don't know. I mean, I really enjoyed the darkness. I do see why it's one of those top tier haunts. I think it is a great attraction. I really am glad we went, and there was a lot of good inspiration in there.
Right.
I just could have withstood more human element, and I think maybe that 3D portion needs a freshening.
Yeah.
And also, could you stand a few more honest-to-God scares, too?
Yes, and after the 3D portion, you go towards the gift shop, and they have a lot of cool movie stuff from movies set up to look at, kind of like a museum type thing.
Yeah, it's a really cool gift shop area.
It's nice to look at.
Yeah, it is. Well, is that all we have for the darkness?
Yes, and this is a positive review.
Yes.
It's just, you should go check it out if you're in the St. Louis area.
Yeah, if you haven't done it before, what are you doing?
Yes, we haven't told people that yet. Go check it out. It's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Definitely worth checking out. It is a good time. It's just, it was not what I expected, but still a lot of fun.
Yep.
There are definitely ways they can improve, but still a lot of fun.
Yes.
All right. On that note, everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
This was Garbage Heart Out of the Can Haunt Review 2015 for the darkness in St. Louis, Missouri. Oh, yeah, I nearly offended some people. All right. We'll see you guys next time.